All right, the Miami Heat did not trade Duncan Robinson, so here we are with Miami Dolphins coverage. I am Kai Chen Chisholm. To my right is Threat. Below me is Kendall. We are covering the Miami Dolphins press conference, introductory press conference for Mike McDaniel, the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins, the 14th head coach of the Dolphins, and the 11th officially hired, as there have been, or 10th officially hired. Yeah, no, 11th, because there's been 3 interim head coaches. We're going to talk about Mike McDaniel. We're going to talk about the staff rumors that have been coming around. But before we do that, I do want to open up a little bit of heat therapy just for a couple seconds here for the two of you. Kendall, I know that you are a trade Duncan Robinson to the Wandong Tigers person himself. How are you feeling on this fine Thursday evening?
My brand has been ruined, but we move. Nothing hits harder than playoff slander. Duncan, I will not comment on you for the rest of the season, but if you ain't shooting in the playoffs, boy, I'm on your ass.
All right, Threat.
Um, at this point, man, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I know what disappointment is. I live with it every single day. So this is the norm for me. I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just living my truth at this point. So it is what it is. I bounce back quick because, like I said, I'm a Dolphins fan. So on to the next. It is what it is.
All right. So Dolphins hired Mike McDaniel. So here we have it. There, he's the head coach. He had his introductory press conference today. There were a lot of good sound bites, I think, out of this. One that has been trending more than I think most of us thought. We touched on it in a recent episode when he was hired, officially rumored, and then hired at the day on Sunday. We're not going to go too deep into it anymore unless we all decide that we want to get into that topic of discussion. But as far as we stand, he had his introductory press conference, talked about a lot. He got definitely extremely emotional. You could see a lot of kind of maybe the nerves and maybe possible some anxiety from the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins as he's getting introduced. Obviously, an emotional moment for himself and for all Dolphins fans, I guess, just because now we have a new guy leading the helm. Threat, what did you think about the introductory press conference? How he spoke, his cadence, what he said? Does it just seem like a normal whatever a new head coach got hired, or is there any hope that you feel from what you saw?
It definitely was a interesting introduction. I did like the one sound bite. We'll probably go over it more, but one that really caught my eye was the RG3 and how the offense has always kind of been the same as far as kind of like West Coasty. I don't know if that's even what you guys want to call it. Under Kubiak and Shanahan, how he's always kind of been in the same system for 15 years, but at the same time, they improve and they become these geniuses basically because they tend to their players and their skill sets of the players that they have. And a lot of coaches don't do that. And I think that's why we see him evolve so much as a offensive mind. And I think that's why a lot of fans are hopeful about what he can do with guys like Jalen Waddle, guys like, I don't want to say maybe Gesicki, I don't know, maybe. Nah. And I think when he name dropped what he did with RG3, how he never did. I think it was it a zone run scheme? Well, I believe that's what he said. You're muted, by the way, guys.
I am muted. I think that is what he said, and that he also mentioned just playing to the strengths, how they wanted to go towards what his strengths were on offense and use him to the full capacity that they possibly could.
Yeah, and that was a bar for me, and that kind of got me a little bit hype, So I'm anxious to see him get to work and how he can utilize some of our guys, our key players, best assets.
Read zone per Alfredo Arteaga.
Yeah,
Juan,
read zone. There we go.
your thoughts as you were back to your extra yard lateness. How do you feel about the introductory press conference?
Damn.
Honestly, I'm gonna be he called me out, but it's true. I'm not gonna call him out.
Hey, for a while, Mike was the one that was late, and
Facts.
then you stopped being late, and then now
he hit it. He passed it on to me.
yeah.
But no, I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a cynic about it, and it's just like my like 5th or 6th
You're an
coaching
old head now.
hire, or it's like it's like I get the coach speak, but I think there was like maybe like 3 things that like really stuck out to me. The main one, the first one was probably the ADD stuff. Like for a coach, like to think that forward about things, about how like players and nowadays and just general people, attention span is really not that long, right? And for a coach to see that and to pivot and to kind of find ways to overcome that, that to me shows like, second level thinking, third level thinking, where like he's going deeper into the game than you really kind of even need to, right? um what Threat talked about too, with the ability for him to run the same system for 15 years, because he kind of hit Omar with like a little left jab, because it was like, yeah, bro, like I've had the same system, right? But I've been able to install it in 7 different teams, and it's worked with 7 different guys, with 7 different organizations.
Each
So it's like,
quarterback has their best seasons under
and
his.
he pointed out also too, where it's like, I can go on to the third season of, or my third repetition of installing this offense with a new team, and yeah, there's a couple of
We'll get
coaches
into a lot
fired.
of that. Yeah, we will get
um
into a lot of that.
so he talked about that too. And I think there was one more where, I think CK was actually talking about it, and he posted the video. um I can't even remember what it was, but I think it was more so with like, trying to play to like your player strengths, and more of like the RG3 stuff, where it was like they had no clue about, how to run that system, or they didn't go to any camps, he said. So it was just, do or die, and they figured it out, and they innovated. And that's exciting to hear, because if we're looking at, like a mad scientist in a lab full of, crazy motherfuckers, like he was one of them. And to say we got him, that's, that's telling.
Kendall.
Yeah, for me, it was interesting, you know what I'm saying? The one, if I say anything that stuck out to me, I just thought it was kind of funny. Was that he said that Stephen Ross was all about winning. And like just how we got here, that was kind of funny to me. But in terms of him, like for one, as a person, he is a football nerd for sure. Like you could just tell. And in terms of
Was
talking,
riding
like,
his bike to Denver Broncos practices as
yeah,
a
you know
kid.
what I'm saying? And then also in terms of like him sitting there talking about himself and like what he's gonna bring to the organization and all that, it didn't seem like it was something that even Kyle Shanahan could have prepared him for. He was it just you could sense the awkwardness and like the uncomfortability until it got to like the football questions. Like he always like brought things back to like, oh, the team and this and getting to know the players. And he just really harped on like understanding people, which was good, you know what I'm saying? Like I like that. And also like he kind of kept the pressure away from like himself and I think Tua as well. Like he didn't let like any headlines or any like news grabbing quotes. He just kept it like centric to the team, which is kind of not like surprising given the fact of where he's come from and all the systems and he's been in and all the teams. Like all the teams he's been on, like they never really had like a star quarterback. It's always been like all their success has been predicated on the team. So it just really shows you like how much I think he's gonna like how much he thinks outside the box and he's gonna look at other things. Instead of just coming in here looking trying to like save the offense and save Tua and whatnot. And also, I like the way he responded to the whole like 20-year no playoff. Like he real deal kind of like let his nuts hang and say like y'all not putting that on me. Like he was just you know what I'm saying, he wasn't like gonna like, oh, I'm gonna try my hardest to change the thing. He's just like, all right, and like that he pretty much was just on some like that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like it's a new day and I'm here now. And I really like that and I can respect that.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much just said like what happened the past 20 years doesn't define him as a coach, doesn't define what the team is going to be under him, and I think that that's a big statement. Just because I think a lot of us know what's happened the past 20 years has been 2 straight winning seasons now under a different regime, and now there's a new guy in town. And I've spoken about it in threads with you guys, with Michael Royal, how I believe that even though I've been a huge proponent of trying to bring him and wanting to bring him to Miami, and I want to get the take from all of you guys as well, like I still think he has to come into this and he has to have a playoff season this year. Like I understand that this is the first year as he's the head coach, and we'll get into the staff changes later and what's rumored to be happening as well. But you have a team that's on the cusp 2 straight years. You have to kind of get them over that hump, especially if you're being hired here. This can't be like a Jim Caldwell line situation where you have a team that's there and then you bring in a new coach because the other coach just couldn't get you there or whatever the reason, and the new coach can't do it. I think there has to be playoff expectations. If you guys have any other comments on that, I don't know whoever wants to go first if you do.
I said it on the last show, man. Off the gate, man, he's inheriting a decent roster in my eyes. He has talent on defense. He's an offensive guy. He's an offensive specialist. The defense will take care of itself. The offense needs to, catch up to where the defense is. So I just have these expectations of maybe 9 wins. Maybe it's a 9-win season, and that might be able to get over the hump, ironically enough, or it's a 10-win season. But I do have playoff aspirations. Whether he wins a game or not, that's a whole nother discussion. Just get us to the dance. Get us to the dance.
What was the question, Kai?
Like,
or was there a question?
I think it's just like my thoughts on the whole situation with Mike McDaniel is I feel like even though he's coming in here as a first-time head coach, and I've probably been one of, if not the biggest person on Twitter to be trying to be seen, especially by Mike McDaniel's wife's apparently ghost Twitter account that is now known by the world. Like even I still think that the expectation has to be playoffs. And like playoffs now, not like playoffs in like 2 years. You had a team that was over the hump the past few seasons, or that was one step from being over the hump the past few seasons, and we feel as if the offense was the issue on why it couldn't get there. Yes, there's going to be turnover on defense, and we'll talk about what's going to happen with the staff changes in a little bit, but I feel like the playoffs are the expectation for this team.
I'm not there yet. I just I don't know. For me it's just like do I see the answer for why we didn't get in the playoffs last year here? No. Do I still see the problems of why we didn't get to the playoffs here? Yeah.
Well, George Godsey's gone, so now one problem's out of the way. So let's be real here.
Yeah, but did the other co-OC, is he still here?
Well, we don't even know where he is.
Is the DC still here? I mean, we saw.
Probably not.
Listen,
we'll get into it.
It's crazy, but a certain coach got fired before a certain offensive line coach did, and it's just like.
Well, we don't know if he has or has not been fired either. So
no, it was per Barry Jackson. It was reported by Omar when it was, and then it was confirmed.
No, I'm talking about like Lem Jean-Pierre. Like we don't know if he has been or not been fired. So, like we don't really know how that stands right now.
I think if it was,
is he not employed by the Dolphins?
As far as I'm concerned,
he is
the
employed.
Defense was the only staff that was still on for another season. So I think there might have been some offensive staff, maybe like a George Godsey and Eric Studsville, but I mean, I think we're all thinking that they're going to get canned anyways. I don't think Lem Jean-Pierre is going to be staying another season.
No, absolutely not. He's gone. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just find it funny that it's reported Gerald Alexander did before.
Well, so okay, I don't know if we have really any more to say. I put a couple notes on this just because I feel like the staffing stuff is the big thing right now. I think the press conference, it was good. I think it went really well, probably better than most of us could have actually expected it to go, considering what's been happening in the news surrounding the Miami Dolphins the past week and a half. And then
listen, there was some uncomfortable question too, because we got to final 2 questions and Safed, and I think it's USA Today knows.
I think it was Safed is the one that asked the question about the biracial, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah. I've touched on it multiple times on Twitter. I've talked to you guys about it privately in DMs. As a child of a biracial family, of a black father and a white mother, and I think that this is being completely pushed to be more than what it should be, and I think he did shut that shit down today, to be honest with everybody.
He did.
So, I don't know. I mean, Threat, I don't know if you have something to say, because I know you looked like you had a little bit of a...
I feel like he did kind of shut it down, but at the same time, I think a lot of black folks weren't trying to hear that shit at all. To be honest with you. And he said the right thing. He said what you would want him to say. But I saw a lot of Black Twitter commenting on it, and they were throwing fits about it. I don't know if the answer was black enough for them, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, he said what he said the right thing to say, but I think this is just gonna be a struggle that we deal with for a long time, and it's colorism is something we deal with in our community, and we got to figure it out, and this is the growing pains that you just got to deal with. So yeah, he said the right thing, but we'll see how it carries on throughout the year. I think it's just something we just gotta continue to harp on, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I want to add to that. Like for him, from his perspective, like, yeah, he did say the right thing, and this is why I say like that was the one moment where he didn't sound like uncomfortable or awkward at all. Like it's almost as like he knew it was coming,
Right.
And it's kind of unfortunate for him that because the NFL is how it is. Like he's been put in a situation where like he's like his background and his like family tree has in ethnicity and whatnot has become a topic of conversation because of how the NFL moves. Because if they wasn't moving like that, it wouldn't even be an issue. It's almost like as if the way they're moving, plus Brian Flores' lawsuit, they tried media pretty much NFL media tried to use him as a statistic. They added to it. It was like Lovie Smith and Mike McDaniel. And this is,
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, so it was like a way of like helping them look a little different. But I definitely think he handled it the right way because like he even went to he brought up his mother, his father, you know what I'm saying? And then he tied that back into like relating to his players and like, oh, you guys, like my dad went through certain things, my mom went through different things, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, certain things that I didn't have to go through, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. I feel for him a little bit because it's just like, damn, like
I mean, his family as well. Like,
yeah, you know
for
what I'm
people
saying?
to
His wife and his kid
constantly-
there, and it's like the first, like the man put in all these years for the job, and then you know what I'm saying? Like I
they're
really
trying to
feel
prop
I'm
him
like
up as
I'm
a
not even
minority
at
hire.
him. Yeah, I'm not at him about it. Like I don't
Right.
really. It's more the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
you're right.
that's my issue. It's like he legit got put in a situation to be like uncomfortable as shit. Where we're talking about the man's like upbringing and like who
His family
his
wedding
parents did,
photos
you know what I'm
being
saying?
passed
And it's just
along.
like it shouldn't even be a topic if they was playing fair. And
I'm glad you said that because you're right. The NFL did try to push their narrative. They did try to push the statistic, and
Not
he just
even try
became
though, Threat. Like
Yeah,
they
they
are.
did.
Like
They did.
he's
Yeah,
good,
they are.
San Fran's being rewarded the 3 or the
Yeah.
2 third-round picks as
Mhm.
compensatory picks.
Are they officially getting rewarded it?
Yeah,
I believe,
I think
because
so.
Rappaport and both Schefter have been tweeting it, and I think that's going to be. I mean,
Interesting.
I know in Threat, I'll let you continue. Like I just know as myself, as like a person who's been saying this, I've been saying I think that it's ridiculous that he's counted as a minority hire. I still think it's ridiculous. I'm just glad that he shut down most of this shit today. But anyways, Threat, what you were saying?
No, I was just gonna say at the end of the day, it's like he's become like a casualty of the war that the NFL has against the racial divide, and that's all it is. That's all I was gonna say, love.
It's I do want to ask though because it's on it. Kendall did bring it up, and I think this is not Kendall, but McDaniel being asked the question did make it a kind of a sticking point there to talk about the situation just for that period of time when he was asked. Like, and you mentioned, I guess like the black community, how you said not black enough type of thing. I have seen certain people tweet about how I guess like I've had an issue with people tweeting about how they want to see more evidence, or I've seen other things where I think that there's a little bit of an issue with that. Do you think that because the NFL is trying to push him as a minority hire, that's also what's making other people who are actually minorities who are seeing the issue like feel some type of way because it's like this isn't a minority hire and they're trying to push him to be one threat?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Kendall, I know you wanted to say something. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was about to say if they never mentioned him as one, like from the jump, like
it
you
came
wouldn't
from the
even
Deadspin article when they called him a white man, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, well, he's actually biracial," and then everyone,
you know what I'm
was like,
saying? And I
"Where?"
think even then it would have been fine, like if we wouldn't have got to this point and the NFL tried to push him as like a minority hire. That's where the issue is. Even for me, I'm like, when you look at the man, like this can go like a whole nother way. Like if we drop that man into society, like he not dealing with like the real things that me and Threat gonna have to deal with as black men, and especially as a black woman. Like they got it worst of everybody. So let me make sure I put that out there. But black people in general, I don't think Mike McDaniel will have to deal with that. Like if he gets stopped by a cop, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like for the NFL, like a multi-billion-dollar business, like they know the power that they have. Like they're promoting this thing as if like, oh, just to add to a statistic at the end of the day, like, oh, look, it's a minority hire. Like, so instead of 1 out of the 9, where we know just looking at how the one in Lovie Smith got to that position is shady as hell. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be there. Like,
No,
you
I
know
mean
what I'm saying?
Lovey.
So
I think we can publicly say Lovey's probably getting fired next year, regardless.
Absolutely, you feel me? Unless he goes like,
yeah, they're gonna go David Culley 2 years back to
you know what I'm
back,
saying?
And then
You
they're gonna hire Josh
going
McCown.
Cully mode like 2.0. So
and they're
it's
gonna
like,
hire McCown next year and say he's ready finally.
yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they try to put him in some like type of like fellowship program, like an NFL fellowship, like the same thing where Flores hired Gerald.
They're gonna create a program for minorities and they're gonna slide in McCown right in there.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna create like some way to make it not look bad. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have been 0 for 9, like from my eyes, because I personally don't view Mike McDaniels as a black man, because when I look at him, I don't think he's going through the things that black men go through and black people in general. So it's unfortunate. Like I don't think it's nothing on him at all. It's like
he
a multi-billion-dollar business doing some like shady shit to like, you know what I'm saying, to paint their image in a better light, like especially with the lawsuit and all that going on.
One last thing that that I have to say as we pivot towards kind of talking about the staff, and I think he mentioned it and you guys have both mentioned it as well, like in terms of his father and his mother. Like I know, like for me in that kind of similar situation as Mike McDaniel is, I know, and I even talked to my father about this stuff this morning as well after the press conference, and we were talking about it. It's like every single time stuff like that comes up, it's always for me saying, it's like, dude, I see myself as like a white man or white passing person. Like my father is a black man, and I've never had to experience anything of what my father had to experience, especially like him being Japanese and black, coming, born in Japan, coming off World War II with all that stuff. Like I've never had to experience any of that shit. I've been a white man my entire life. So I think a lot of that stuff has been crazy. I'm glad that he kind of touched on it. But now we get into stuff like Gerald Alexander fired. He's up and coming coach, interviewed for the.
Kai, I want to add one thing because we were talking about expectations for him next year.
Yes.
One, I didn't get to add to it. If he can bring in like 7, like that run game, I feel more comfortable playing the Buffalo Bills than I did last
year.
Yeah. If we can run the football effectively, like that's kind of like that's funny, Ben. I you know what I'm saying, I feel a little bit more comfortable playing the Bills if we have a run game like I think we possibly can, because I mean the man's run game is innovative.
So Gerald Alexander is gone. He has been fired as per Omar Kelly, and it seems to be confirmed that he will be gone. I think it's a little bit interesting that he wasn't just kind of given the opportunity to go. I know Juan finally saw the comment. I find it interesting that it wasn't just like they're giving him the opportunity to. Oh, PJ Tucker just got injured. I find it interesting that they're not giving him the opportunity to just go and look for another place. That they actually just said, all right, we're gonna go ahead and fire him. He interviewed for the Jacksonville, DC job. He did not get it. Jacksonville decided to go with somebody else.
I think partly though they would. I'm assuming it's because they probably don't want to have to give permission every time he wants to go interview.
Possibly, I guess. So one thing that was talked about yesterday was that Gerald Alexander's wife was on Twitter interacting with Dolphins fans. I personally don't think she said anything.
This was not Miko Grimes. Like it was not. It was like, not that deep.
It wasn't
that
bad
level. At all. But I guess it is a topic of conversation.
We know Dolphins interns don't play.
Yeah. we know Miko and Omar talking all the time about that stuff way back when. But like it is a topic of conversation considering that now he is fired. It was considered that he was going to be interviewing people like Gerald Alexander, Josh Boyer, et cetera, to stay on the staff. And that it was rumored that he had already interviewed with Josh Boyer. I'm not sure how factual that is, however. Now he's gone. Do you guys think that it played into any part of it? Do you think that maybe it was just another thing of like her talking about Flores, her talking about how the Dolphins haven't spoken to him and they're like, just fuck it, we're just going to get rid of it? Or do you think, as Juan, I believe you alluded to multiple times, and I'll start off with you here, that it's just trying to get rid of people that were here in the Flores era?
Yeah, I think in my opinion it was just this was always already going to happen in my opinion. I know that I think they're keeping I think the special teams coach, but I think for being real and the defensive side of the ball is really where Brian Flores spent most of his day. Yeah, he was not in the offensive meetings with Tua. Like I can promise you
Love how
that. Like
McDaniel mentioned
he was for
the
sure with Javon Holland, JP. He was with all them boys. Um, so I mean, yeah, I think ultimately it's gonna be telling if Josh Boyer ends up staying. I don't think he will. I think they're gonna completely clean house on the defense. And I don't know if Angio is the reason why. I don't think it's gonna be that.
really quickly, according to Benjamin Albright, take this for what you want to take it for. Uh,
I would trust Albright with
defensive
some genuine news.
coordinator, former defensive coordinator Vic Fangio is meeting with John Lynch and could be interested in a role with the team.
Mm, interesting.
Uh,
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what their plan is going to be for the defensive side of the ball. I do find it interesting. I I know
Albright
that
also mentioned that he has offers, so we can
yeah,
only assume that maybe he has
and
an
he I
offer
think he
from the
also mentioned he
Dolphins.
could also see him taking a year off and still getting paid by the
Yes,
Broncos.
correct.
Um, so that's interesting as well. I don't know if McDaniel's is going to go out of the box and try to find somebody random to kind of run the defense. Um, I don't know if it's going to be somebody who is probably an up and coming coach somewhere else. Um, maybe a Raheem Morris. Is Raheem Morris with the 49ers or where is he?
He's
Uh,
LA. He has
He's
a
with the
game.
Chargers. I
No,
yes,
would I
yeah, I believe.
not
yeah,
with the
Rams. I
Chargers.
think he was. I thought he was in the Rams.
I would
Yeah,
not be surprised if Raheem maybe slid over here as a defensive coordinator.
He is currently
Uh,
defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams.
okay, I didn't know
So
he was a DC over there.
unless he decides to make a lateral move, and I believe he also interviewed
yeah.
for a few head coaching
I
positions.
think
I
the Vikings.
don't remember where. I
I
think it
think
Oh,
it
was
the
the
was the
Vikings.
Vikings. It was like late.
He
It
was.
was
I
like
think he was a finalist with him and Kevin
even,
O'Connell. I think were the
even
finalists
the
for the
Vikings
Vikings.
or the Saints. Because the Saints, it was Aaron Glenn, Flores, and somebody else.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't necessarily know what the plan is going to be for the defensive side of the ball. Um, I do like that we ended up getting I don't remember his name. I don't even want to butcher it, but the tight ends coach
Uh.
for the
John
49ers.
Embry.
Oh, I
Embry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Amber.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
just
we
said it.
also grabbed our ex guy Wes
Wes
Welker.
Walker.
yeah, it
Yep.
was.
And I will say that the two main guys on that offense is Debo and Kittle. And immediately after both those guys, their coaches left, they gave like Instagram posts like complimenting them out the ass. Um, for me, when you get a guy like Kittle saying stuff like that, for me, when you get a guy like Debo saying stuff like that, that's telling. So
Very telling.
um you would hope that they could come over here and have that type of success either with Hunter Long or Gesicki or Waddle or maybe whoever we draft or maybe we trade for
Who?
a guy like
Gesicki?
Ridley.
Mike Gesicki? Who's that?
But I am
Mid.
concerned for the defensive side of the ball. I have been beating that hammer pretty loudly all off season, and I think them cleaning house is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Now I'm a little worried with the Evangel news.
Who
I'm
knows if he's really gonna take it? I think if you're, I think
yeah.
they share the same agent, him and Mike McDaniel. I don't think that you go out there and fire a guy like Gerald Alexander if you're not at least having someone that you know who's going to be your DC. Like if you go out there and you're going to keep Josh Boyer, you probably try to keep Gerald Alexander, especially considering that Alexander didn't have a defensive coordinator spot. But anyways, but
It does open up for my guy, man, who I did bring up last stream as well. I cannot pronounce his
KK.
last name.
KK.
KK, Chris.
but
He's the
he's with
defensive line.
He's with the 49ers right now,
49ers,
right?
yeah.
So
He's a D-line coach.
I think it was mentioned earlier that
Yeah, will we our sources
not even our sources. Alfredo Artiaga mentioned our CK, I think it was. No,
It was
CK
CK.
had mentioned our Dolphins chat, and I hope that I am not getting in trouble for saying this because it's just in the Dolphins chat. It's not like it's on OnlyFans.
Should have just said sources, bro.
That no, I don't. I'm not trying to be fake as fuck like that shit. I'm not out here being fake like some other people that have reasons, but pretty much like they said that Wes Welker is probably going to be the one hire. Like usually you don't, raid the person's staff, and there's like one person you agree on. So I doubt that maybe
Yeah,
they go for
we
two,
sort of
but who
skimped on.
knows?
We got lucky getting two
Yeah.
Niners guys, and it was mostly because I think the Embry, I think that's his name. That's what you say it.
But I
Yeah.
don't think he's like with the
Yeah, I
told
think
him
I
to take
think
a pay
they
cut.
yeah they told him to take a pay cut because he wasn't going to be assistant HG. So
right.
Yeah, he got
Stripped
up out
his
of there.
title away.
yeah, so
Anyways, Threat. So if that's not, if let's say they can't go after him, is there anyone else that you might peg for DC? Because I feel like at this point, you fire Alexander, you're probably not keeping Josh Boyer around. It would be really interesting to not like who's going to be your DC. Who are you going to prop up to that spot?
That's part of the reason why I'm kind of a little frustrated why we started this process so late when we had so much time to get it rolling. Because I did like Wink Martindale, especially for this defense,
Hell
especially
of a
with the
hire for
blitz.
the Giants.
Yeah, hell of a hire. I felt like our personnel would have been perfect for the scheme that he runs with the blitz heavy covers, a lot of cover zero and whatever he runs. And I just I'm not sure right now at the top of my head. I can't think of anybody right now, but I'm sure names will pop up and we'll see some, and Dolphins fans will get hyped around some names. But right now, I was so locked in on Vic that I'm not sure right now. So I got to get back to you on that one.
Well, nothing's confirmed. I mean, it again. Albright is the one to go to when it comes for Denver stuff. I think everyone can agree with, and I think at the same time, a lot of people don't think that So there's certain things that Albright does and does not that people don't really agree with. Kendall, would you have anyone kind of that you're thinking about that could be a guy, or is at this point it's just kind of like it was Vic Fangio, wink or bust?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone. I mean, yeah, I got nobody. It was for me. It was my number one was Wink, just because like Baltimore kind of played similar to us. They were blitz heavy. They go man on the outside. And then Fangio. I think Fangio was more like versatile in his schemes. I mean, Denver, I feel like they played more zone last year, but and Denver wasn't like how like defense that we used to. Like they were low on yards. They didn't give up yards or points, even though we were more bend don't break. But yeah, it does kind of suck because I mean now it just kind of it amps up the pressure, and I would understand like if Boyer is the guy, but for me, like I would just hope for McDaniel's sake, and even as a Dolphins fan, like bro, if he's not 100 on him, like and not totally comfortable, like fuck that, like you know what I'm saying, clean him out. Like I wouldn't want him to keep him based off of like comfortability and like being scared of messing up the defense or like having it take too much steps back. But yeah, like name wise, like I have no one. Like we were big on the D line coach from San Fran just because being in the spaces, and the San Fran fan, a couple of them was in there like bigging up his name, like, and they were just like that was like the one dude that they didn't want to go at all. Like they cherished that guy. Like
they feel like he's gonna fill in that D'Amico Ryan's role.
yeah, like
once he moves.
if D'Amico got a job, they were feeling like he might be next up.
Juan?
I'm trying to figure out, did Patrick Graham get the job with the Raiders or did he not?
It's
Yeah.
reported
He
that
did.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
So then what happened to Gus Bradley?
I feel like he's in where is Wentz play? The Indianapolis.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got hired.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, he just got hired. That's a fact.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Yep.
Okay, so then not Gus.
Mhm.
That's what I said. We
Jim
just
Schwartz, maybe. I know he interviewed with the Giants,
Bro,
but the
Ben
Giants
seems to have the idea, my guy. I don't know, dog. He seems to have the idea.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, but he's usually in
You're telling me
control
this
when that
man wouldn't
happens.
be a good defensive coordinator? This guy would kill it.
He'd be a great D-line coach. He'd tell everybody how to beat him. I don't know. I think I think
Just
I saw
breathe and you'll get right
also
past me.
Jim Leonard.
I like that
Yeah,
name
but
that Alf just
but,
dropped.
yeah, but then I mean you would have what an ex-player as a first-time DC
So
with
he's
a
staying with
first-time head
Wisconsin.
coach. Like I kind of came around to reasoning with like not necessarily expecting Gerald Alexander to be a DC because it would have been tough to have a first-time head coach and a first-time DC. So that's why for me it's kind of tough. Like there's not that many names out there that I could see having some type of experience to help McDaniel like not even have to stress out on the defense. Like
Yeah.
at this point it'd be like Aubrey Peasant, like Desanai, I think his name is, from the Bears.
He got
Desai.
hired in Seattle, I think.
Oh well, fuck
Sean
me. No,
Desai.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
even the Giants even snatched up like Rob Ryan,
Yeah.
the other Ryan brother, whichever one's a lot. I forgot his name.
yeah,
Rob
we're
Ryan.
like we're
Yeah, it's
we're
like
behind on the 8 ball. We're behind on the
I
8 ball.
really do feel like it's gonna be either.
Which is crazy because we set
We
this
might have to
off.
get stuck
I
with
feel like
Boyer
it's
for
gonna be
another
Vic.
year.
If
Yeah,
I'm
I
being
can see.
honest.
Who?
I think it's gonna be Vic. If I'm being
Who?
honest, Vic Fangio.
Big Fangio.
Oh,
If I'm
That's
being honest,
sauce.
I
That's
don't know, man.
sauce.
It
I
makes
just-
sense. It makes sense. I just
it's just my feelings. You know, I was right about my feelings about McDaniel.
I haven't seen anything definitive that I would say that. It could happen, right? This could be some overnight, like Mike McDaniel, hits up,
Goes out and-
the Bong Shula, and
I just
he gets to work in the phones, and he starts
I just
chatting
think
it up.
they have the same agent.
Yeah, I
don't
was
know.
about to say, like, if we see another name pop up, like interviewing for it, it would kind of like lead me to believe that it's not happening. But then we also go back to like what he said, like at the press conference, he felt like Ross would do anything to win. So it's like, he's committed to
Okay,
winning,
bring Brian Flores back.
and he ain't that committed.
No, sir, not that committed.
He ain't that committed. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think money would be an issue. I think whatever, like,
No, I think I specifically heard somewhere or saw something that it was like that they were gonna give him all the money available to make a stop.
yeah,
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, even like
As
Ross
they
has
should, though.
always seemed to be a spender, like when it's there or like when their football people want to
If
spend.
it makes
So
sense business wise in Stephen Ross's idea, he will make the move. I think
Yeah.
that's one thing. Sorry to cut you off, but I think that's one thing that we all can kind of agree on. Although we might have differing opinions on Stephen Ross, I think
I
that
don't think
no
they're all
one.
that different.
I think they are because I feel like mine is significantly different than a lot of people's thoughts on Stephen Ross. Because I think that.
I'm here.
Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm more hard on Ross than you are. You might be more a little understanding. I'm more of like, yeah, bro, it's been like 15 years. G. It's like,
No, but yeah. So then we have differing opinions. I was gonna say because a lot of
yeah, that's what I
Dolphins
meant.
fans
That's what I said.
That's what I said the most because I think you join like the like of Threat and Kendall that are sitting here asking for him to be to sell the team, and I'm one of them that's sitting there like, I don't know, man. The man hasn't hurt my taxes because he decided to use his own money for a stadium renovation. We're still paying for the Marlins Stadium.
I was literally rocking with Ross up into the float thing. Like
I mean, we don't have to get like super far
Yeah.
into it, of course. I mean, it's been talked about. We've talked about it a bunch, but I don't know, man. I'm just, as far as it is considered as a business person, I think Ross is one of the best business owners in the NFL.
I'm just
my
fine with him
personal
like
thought.
spending money and he not cheap. But it's crazy because
He never is.
You look at the cheap ass Bengals and look where they're at.
But he's also not afraid to meddle, as we know, per the Indomitian Sue stuff. So we know he's
that
not
boy
afraid
had to get ghost. He was about to go crazy.
Yeah, that he
was about to go crazy.
Just for you two as Heat fans, just to update you guys, PJ Tucker left tonight's game with a left knee contusion and is questionable to return.
And that's why you go pick up a 4. And that's why you don't sit on your hands.
Left knee bruise.
That's why you don't sit on, and that could be worse because them knees is 67.
So you got you got Morris out, you got Tucker out. Who's at the 4?
KZ out. Oh, never mind.
Royal A. Shepherd. So with that,
Exactly.
I mean, is there anything else you guys want to touch on regarding the
Oh yeah, we
staff
didn't
and
touch on
everything?
the Curtis Johnson move.
Right.
No,
So
well,
well,
Wes
I
Welker.
mean,
Wes Welker's
yeah.
more is official, so I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's just Wes is what I guess just coming to be wide receivers coach. Just a lateral move for him.
yeah. I like what Wes was able. Well, I don't know if you want to give him the props for it, but I like the production out of Ayuk. Obviously Debo and
After
Juwan
he was in the
Jennings.
doghouse too, because he was in the
Yeah.
Yeah, he
doghouse.
was.
And
And that was a weird
it was so
doghouse.
strange,
That
bro.
was
But
weird, bro.
he
That
got up out that
situation.
motherfucker and he started
It's
balling.
stunning.
Though, so.
yeah.
So I like Wes Welker's work that he did with him. And then I was gonna touch on Curtis Johnson. Everybody seems to be high on him. I don't know the track record so far. All I know is about his stints with the Bears, and his stint with the last 3 years in New Orleans. He was a wide receivers coach in both of those stints, I believe, too.
Yeah, and he was it's leaving my head right now. I think he was the assistant head coach with the Saints. I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But
With that 2016 Bears team, Alshon Jeffrey,
senior offensive assistant with the
Okay.
Saints. He was originally the offensive assistant from 2017 to 2020, and then he doubled as the senior offensive assistant and wide receiver coach last year.
Okay. So I mean, his Bears track record, I'm not too much of a fan of the production he got, but he didn't have much talent to work with, regardless. And if he was working hand in hand with the receivers out of New Orleans, outside of Michael Thomas, who are you guys kind of high on as far as receivers go out there?
Didn't he work in New Orleans 06 through 11?
Yeah, 06 through 11.
Well, I mean, if you go back to 06, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
bro, Marcus Colston was like a 7-round pick out of Hofstra. Like, what's his other? Robert Meacham,
also,
Derrick Henderson. Like,
yeah,
so they had some pieces, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the previous work. The previous work in 06 from there was good. It's just the last track record is what really kind of makes me a little bit nervous, as far as because their second leading receiver and third leading receiver in some of those years were both running backs, Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara. So that makes me a little bit nervous. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean their quarterback position, it was in a terrible.
We saw that shit
spot.
firsthand.
Yeah.
But also, like Callaway wasn't, he didn't look horrible with the Saints.
He actually had his moments with Jameis too.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a horrible situation. But they also, I mean, damn, dude, you look at their wide receivers that they had. They were trotting out Kevin White, former first-round pick, out onto the field. They were throwing out like.
Would Kevin White have been with him back in Chicago?
Possibly. I think because that's 2016. That's when Devontae was drafted. Kevin White was drafted in the same draft. Deontay Harris had his moments as well. He's a free agent.
Yeah, I actually like Deontay Harris. Like,
Juwan Johnson had some moments with him as well.
I think they converted him to a tight end, actually.
Juwan Johnson, yeah. But I mean, I guess like in terms of
I got you.
I'm sure as a senior offensive assistant, he had to have helped with some pass game coordination. I don't think that he's just strictly
for sure
doing that. Also, I mean, we're obviously staying around just because
Did we talk about the guy from Atlanta that we interviewed or didn't interview?
Which guy from Atlanta? Who?
I thought there was a guy from Atlanta that they
the quarterback coach.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Andre Johnson not making the Hall of Fame.
That is crazy.
Did Zach make it?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Whoa, what?
No, if Zach made it, Alf would have been in the comments already.
Nothing.
If he didn't make it, he would have been here in the comments.
Yeah, that is true. Well,
I mean,
Alf might be in the streets right now going crazy.
Let's stick around, because then if he does, we can talk about it. If he doesn't, we can't, because apparently it's
Charles London. That's that.
Yeah, Charles.
Like
I was interested in him just because
let's definitely stick around.
Cordell Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
You're high on the Cordell Patterson love too.
How he flipped them, and also potentially selling him on coming here. And Ridley too. Listen, I'm Ridley too, because that's gonna give me.
Now you want to be on the Ridley train? Wait, hold on.
Listen, I'm gonna play.
He admitted it.
We're full.
I'm gonna play the dominoes. I'm gonna play the dominoes. If you bring him here, you're gonna find out, more or less what kind of happened, right? What really went on if you didn't already know.
Mental health stuff, bro.
Yeah, but there's
They didn't
stressors,
put it out
and
there.
if you can prevent the
Yeah.
stressors, and that's different conversations, right?
Mental health is
And
important.
also he has experience with top end guys, like working with Matt Ryan, and potentially how I think we did training camp with them last year, so there's obviously some type of familiarity right there. So I think that'd be an interesting hire too, depending on how we went. I don't know, was he for OC, or was he for just a position?
He
I
was for OC, I
will
believe.
search up some other stuff as well. As
Interesting.
long as we're not doing co-OCs, then anything is better than that.
Mm, I mean, yeah, but our guy said he's calling plays. So
Yeah, I was
I
just
mean,
about to say, Ken, that should
No,
probably be
I
like the
know, but
next.
yeah.
Yeah, he was an interview for a coordinator.
interesting. So yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind him for a couple different reasons, obviously.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, we
and
might as well throw it at
and I
them.
think listen, I think on the offensive side of the staff, that's a solid staff, right? Embry, Welker, Charles London. We got to also get somebody for the O line. Um, but I think, and it's just my gut feeling, right? I just don't like how much attention's being placed on the offense. I understand why. Um, Completely understand
Oh,
why.
come on now, Juan.
I
We have to
just,
get this
I
offense
just,
to a place where it can be
listen. We haven't
dominant
had
by
a
right.
top 10 offensive team in like 27 years or something like that.
There's
So,
actually a good
uh,
stat to search up.
I think it
so
was the last one was like 95.
Yeah, 95. What was it?
like that. So I think I get it, right? I just don't. I feel the step back coming from the defense, and I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a lot more drastic than people kind of think or expect.
Nah, I'm with you on that. Like, I don't take it for granted at all. Like, bro, it's like we started seeing like a lot of young guys shine, bro, and it was
Mm,
just like,
Do you want
and it
total
wasn't like,
offensive ranking? Sorry, just sorry to cut you off, but just to confirm, do you want like a total offensive ranking or like points per game?
what do you
I
mean
want to say
points?
it might have been points per game. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Well, you said top 10?
I think it was total offense. Was it? Or was
Yeah,
it
I think it was
Well,
total offense of what
I
total
they.
want to
offense?
say it was total offense, but I don't know
Yeah, I
how
I
think
they
it was
would.
mean,
I don't
total
know how they
offense of
would
what
break
they
that
paid.
down. Now that I
in
kind of
just
was
points
being
per
a little told
game,
about
they
it.
haven't been top 10 in points per game since 2001. Leading receiver was Chris Chambers.
Shout
Leading
out Chris
running
Chambers.
back,
Thanks.
yeah, for real,
I just
was
found out
Lamar
recently he
Smith,
was
and then we had Jay
5'11".
Fielder.
What? He was?
I think that's
Yeah,
what Google said. I couldn't
He's
believe it.
He
shameless
played way
plug.
bigger than
2019, by
that.
the way.
That's what I'm saying. I remember him being like 6'4", lanky, and like jumping over people, like bro, like it was.
Shameless plug. When
They
we
haven't
dropped him
been
off at the airport, he wasn't that big, like of what
they
I
haven't
thought
been
he would
top
be.
10 in
That's what I'm
yards
saying. Yeah,
since
no, exactly.
1995.
Yeah, 95 for top 10 yards, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
95.
There we
Yep.
go. So I get it, right?
That's
And I understand that for all the nuance and specialty and mastership that Flores had on the defensive side of the ball, we're gonna get the exact same thing, maybe even more, from McDaniel on the
what
offensive side of the ball, right?
you saying Tua's about to go off, be a
I
MVP
am
candidate? Is that
listen,
what you're
listen,
saying?
listen. I'm gonna give you the same political answer that Mike McDaniel gave today. I cannot see any quarterback thriving without somebody blocking for him and somebody catching for him. You
I
see, yeah,
mean, it's
Yeah,
5'11", yeah.
so. Do you think it's funny that, and I guess just asking because the bottom two people here are the two biggest Tua haters in 5 Reasons Sports Network. Do you guys think that it's interesting that your new head coach also mentioned that he thinks that essentially in a roundabout way Tua hasn't been given a fair shot yet?
I will say that our new head coach is gonna say the right things because he's the new head coach. Like, I don't think he's gonna come in here dogging no one. But
I'm
I will say with the Tua thing, I do find his career arc being kind of interesting. And I told Threat this, like, you know, like the guy they love to compare him to is Drew Brees. And I just posed the question: it's like, can this guy be his Sean Payton? Like, I'm not a believer in Tua, but it's just like the dude obviously knows offense and he has like creative thought processes and like the way he like goes about it, like the way he stresses like wide receiver blocking. It's like I'm expecting him to be better, but it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, I'm
PJ is
believing him.
playing.
Yeah, so I would sit him, but like,
I would as well.
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what Mahomes said when he was playing golf. I gotta believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it, or I'll see it when I believe it.
So you guys
Yeah,
don't have any,
the Tua thing. I'm gonna give you your time to shine, Kai. Sort of, kind of. I'm gonna say that we're gonna see how free agency's handled.
Wait, what
We're
do you
gonna
mean my
see.
time to shine?
Yeah,
Hold
no,
up.
because you're not really like a Tua like stan like at all. I think you're just as skeptical as us. We're just more
I'm
loud
really
about it.
far off. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I'm trying to play nice.
exactly. That's why I'm just coming at you for no reason. But no, I think the Tua thing. Here's the thing: we really have no quarterbacks on this team besides for Tua, like literally, right?
Who's the backup going to be? That's a great question.
So you're signing somebody, or you're drafting somebody. I don't know how. Listen, I don't know how Twitter's going to handle a 4th round
But who are
quarterback.
you going to drive? Draft. Like,
Whoever
I
it is,
can't.
they not gonna
I
like it.
can't tell you how the draft is going to fall. I can't tell you what they're going to do
but
in the 4th,
who?
5th, 6th round. But someone got to play backup quarterback. They're going to have to sign somebody.
I
They're
have
going to have to
no
do
idea
something.
what this is. TD Talk
Please don't.
catfishing scandal?
I will tell you after the show. I just we're not gonna talk about any of that.
Is
And
that
then
what we were
Cap,
talking about
Cap,
before?
because you've been on here all the time, Cap. The 3 things that I would never do is read Armando and outkick. Never in any conversation. So that's just no.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll talk about it after the show because I have no idea what the fuck that
I
is. But
I definitely think I just want to harp on the backup quarterback situation. I do feel like the backup quarterback situation is a very important position, and we can't just throw a guy in there.
especially if you got a veteran. Sorry.
We can't just throw a guy in there. We're talking about no offense to it, but we're talking about a fragile guy who's missed a lot of time.
He's
Our
not
backup
giving you
What?
17 games.
our,
He's not
our,
giving you
our,
Fragile?
17 games.
our
What?
backup our backup quarterback is very likely to play starter games, bro. And as you can tell from this past year,
That's how I feel, Darth.
that made or
But
break that made make or break
so
our season.
I want to ask. I'm gonna ask Kendall, but I want everybody to answer. How does Marcus Mariota coming here? How would that go?
Bro, that would be interesting as hell because that's the Hawaiian Roll
Yo,
2-pack.
oh, just kidding. Sorry.
That's like the Hawaiian Roll 2-pack, and I know them boys is like they tight like that. And bro, would Marcus Mariota open up our offense a little more? I don't think he's a more accurate passer, but like as an athlete, like
Because I'm looking at the free agent quarterbacks. I'm only seeing him and maybe Mitch Trubisky that I would be interested in.
I'm not hesitating to bring Mitch Trubisky in here. Like,
You two are like the crazy.
bro, what do you
wait, time out. Why though? Why?
What?
Yeah, why am I crazy right now,
It's
Kai?
just there's some shit that y'all say, and I'm just like, dog, come on.
We didn't say he was better, bro.
I just want an explanation though.
No,
Why am I
look,
wrong?
I agree. We talked about it. I think I've exposed it a couple times in like on streams. We've talked about the whole Garoppolo thing, and I think that like the topic of conversation.
No, I've reconsidered that. I'm not trading
like,
high picks and paying him.
Yeah.
Right
Oh
now.
no, I said I'm never trading for him. I made that a point. Like
I'm not doing
trading.
that either. But I do agree that like and look, I get this is the same reaction that I have. However, I do agree with the two of you, and I wanted to get Threat his comments on this as well. Like, if he can't beat out Mitch, if he can't beat out Garoppolo, then I agree with Lewis here. Or no, not Lewis. I agree with Darth. Sorry, I thought Lewis was the one that put it. If he can't beat them, he doesn't deserve the honest chance in 23. If he shows you, or in 22,
yeah, but
if he can't show you in 22 that he's the guy, then you move on in 23.
But we're not crazy for saying
competition.
Yeah.
No. You're not crazy for saying competition. I think it's just like the idea of bringing in a guy like Mitch Trubisky is just like a weird situation,
bro. So you're telling me crazy? You think it's crazy for a day one of training camp for Tua to get 2/3 of the first team reps?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, nah.
Why, bro?
Nah. I don't know about that, bro.
dude, we're not. I'm sorry, but if I'm the type of person that's going to be there and want my quarterback to be the guy, I want my quarterback to try to make a difference. Like,
But time out,
I'm not
Kai.
gonna.
How many games do you see? How many games do you see Tua play next year?
15.
I don't see
I like. Look, I don't. I would say like 16.
All right, if I gave you, if I give you
14.5
exactly, I was gonna say
Over.
over.
I'm going under.
Yeah, me
I would
too.
take over.
I don't see it. I don't see 14 games. And to Al's point, like it's not about being cheap with the next quarterback. It's just
But
you
here,
gotta be,
I don't think I'm not sorry. I'm not serious about Mitch. I don't know about these two motherfuckers down below me, but
Bro, I'm
I'm not
serious
serious
about
about
comp.
Mitch.
I'm
but
serious
look,
about
but
fair.
then
I'm not
look at
serious
the next
about him
question.
either, bro. I
But
have
look at the
opinions
next
on
question.
Kyler,
I
and
mean,
I get
like,
it.
what I mean, we're talking about as if we're just giving to a backup option. Like, we're not
Yeah.
like Mitch Trubisky should not be a like. What are we doing? Like,
Well, I don't. I just don't get. I don't get why. Like for Mitch Trubisky specifically, I don't get why. That's just my
Because he's
That's
kind
a
of
that's a high upside play though. What would
yeah. Now, I mean,
a
he's an
top
athlete.
a top two pick that at worst gonna play 3-4 games, at best might win a job. Like what?
I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Mitch is
Same. Okay, so Mariota.
horrible,
What's
by the
wrong with
way.
Mariota?
I took Mariota. That wouldn't matter.
But are you
Oh,
taking
okay,
Mariota because
okay.
he's older and he seems like less of a threat?
I'm taking Mariota because I actually like Mariota, and I don't.
Wait, why would
like-
Mariota be less of a threat? I see. If
I don't
anything,
think that I think Mariota is more of a threat. Than
Yeah, I was
Mitch.
gonna say
Okay,
that.
no, I'm that's what I'm asking.
Okay, I get
That's
what you're
I'm trying
saying,
to figure
Kai.
out.
You're just not a fan of Trubisky.
I'm not a fan of Trubisky here. I'm not a fan of Trubisky here. That's like my. I don't think that is a mix here because I legitimately, and this isn't off me saying that Trubisky's good. I just think that Trubisky was put into the rehab facility of the Buffalo Bills last year, and I think somehow, some way, Trubisky's gonna end up being a starter next year, and it's not gonna be here. Not that I think that he should be,
I think he'll be a starter somewhere the Tannehill way. I mean, that's what I'm
But that's what
officially
I'm
starting to
saying.
call it now.
Yeah. I don't
like, I
think
mean,
that.
But I
Like the
listen,
Titans, let's be real. The Titans aren't going to the Super Bowl with Tannehill. Like at this point, you could say that maybe people think
I
this
would,
is
I would.
what Jimmy did was more than what fucking Tannehill did. And Jimmy was throwing games away.
Yeah.
What do you think, Threat?
As far as Mitch Trubisky and
I mean,
Mariota goes,
just backup quarterback in general. Like
the two backup quarterbacks I like
I'm gonna
are
look at free agents.
restricted free agents, man.
That's what I'm saying. As far as
it-
unrestricted free agents, just guys that
Yeah.
you picking up from the street.
yeah,
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
unrestricted-
Cam Newton, Andy
unrestricted.
Dalton,
I've
like,
literally the whole time been scrolling through the names.
Blaine
and
Gabbert,
they're
Chad
bad.
Henne. Like,
They-
what are we doing? Like,
And it's
they're
like,
really
bro, like,
bad. It's
people-
really. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, we got comments poo-pooing on us saying Mitch, and but I'm just saying, like, bro, if you can get him in here at a number that you like, and like that's the best that you feel like you can get, is like, why are we saying no? Like to a backup quarterback position is just like, that's where my confusion is. Like,
Yeah, these names are really bad. I might lean maybe Brian Hoyer.
that's
but
that's yuck. That's yuck. That's like,
yeah.
listen, that's like
Disgusting.
Jacoby, but like,
Yeah.
let's like, the obvious, but like, geez.
I mean, the rest of these guys are all restricted. Tyler Huntley, Kyle Allen.
But see, now Alf hits a third name, but that third name that's some serious competition in my opinion.
Oh, we've been said that one.
I think that Minshew will also end up like those are the two that I think Minshew and Trubisky.
Those are our
that
two.
Somehow,
Hey, listen.
some way next year is going to be an NFL starter.
Hey,
Those
listen.
are our two, Jimmy and Minshew. Those are like the two.
I literally tweeted out Minshew. The Dolphins need to go after
Listen,
Minshew
we're
just
passing the time right now.
randomly months ago or whatever, and that's the name that I've been harping on. But if he comes, he's taking the job. Ain't no competition. I'm gonna be real with you.
You think
I feel
Minshew's
like
taking the job?
I think Minshew is better than Tua.
100%.
I think
Minshew's
Minshew
better.
is
Tua comes in his feelings 2.0, talking about I'm not putting my name in as a captain because whatever.
That mustache gonna step up and say, get the fuck out my way, and I'll take it, bro.
I think Minshew will
bro.
beat
Like
Tua.
Minshew's is a guy's guy, bro. Like you see him celebrating with his dad outside a game, like dudes just follow that guy, man. And it's not to say anything against Tua, but like,
That's just his style. Like,
yeah, bro. And like, I know we choose to pick and we pick and choose what we want to believe in from the media,
Let's
but
do
like,
it. Give him like number, I don't know, 9 or something.
me.
Let's
No
do it.
Oh
way.
God.
Send it in.
Absolutely not.
how did like?
I would rather wait for Tua's 50 starts or his 50.
Wait, are we saying that? Wait. Are we saying that Minshew
What does
didn't
that mean?
take the
Minshew
Hurts job
Minshew's
because
stunning.
Minshew played better than Hurts played all year?
Hey, go look at the Eagles fans forum right now. They were begging for Minshew during that playoff. Begging. I'm telling you right now. All through SB Nation.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't. I mean, there's no way.
This is a
to get around
ridiculous
it.
like.
Bro, if you said,
Well, look.
who you
Here's the
putting your
question for
money
you,
on,
Kendall. You and Juan.
bro, he's trending that way. I'm ready to say, bro, he has 3 games next year, and I will label him a bust if he don't come out like looking like a decent quarterback. Like, I'm not scared to say that. Even right fucking now, I think Tua's a bust. Like, and I would
like
love.
I tried
to be
to
wrong.
I tried to be so I try to be so unbiased and
That's
in the
bold,
middle,
man.
but I know that's what I'm saying. I tried. I genuinely tried, but there's just no way I can sell myself on him being a top 5 pick
But
and not being a bust. Like it just does not fucking add up. It doesn't.
I think it's just that there's
the
no
top
way that we
6 pick
can.
looks like that, and the top 1 pick is. Like I can't. It is.
But I think it's also just because Juan that we see like. Look, Joe Burrow was really hyped last year, right? Or 2 years ago, sorry, when he was coming out.
Yeah.
But we hadn't seen a quarterback as hyped as Tua since Luck came out. Like just point blank, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I think
so. I think it's just strictly off the fact that like there was so much hype around him, and that it was a Bama quarterback is gonna break the mold. I think that's why there's people like you and like Kendall where you're like, damn, I was served up being told that Buddy's gonna be this, but Buddy isn't this.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. The only thing is for me, like, dog, like I'm actually, because of this Tua experience, I'm glad I'm not like a college football fan. Just because I never followed this narrative. I didn't know Tua. I didn't really see too much of it. Like I saw, I think, the Burrow game live, and I was kind of like unimpressed. I'm like, what? I mean, like, it wasn't anything special to me. And this is the game me and Kendall talk about quite a bit,
bro. Like, as a big college football fan, I can tell you it was like why I kind of like I believed in him. I thought he was a good quarterback, and it was like, oh, he's accurate as shit. Like that you could see. But my thing was, it was just like it just seemed like we did things the right way and still ended up with him. And that's where my belief was. Like, Kai, you searched my Twitter and put it in one of our chats. Bro, in 2019, I was saying, fuck.
I do that to everybody as well.
You know what I'm saying, bro? It was just like, I wasn't a part of that. Like, I didn't believe in it. Like,
because the whole premise of doing it was that you're saying, okay, I'm willing to lose for something. And I think I was willing to, I was willing to sacrifice a season. I don't want to lose, but I was willing to understand the premise of everything. And I probably tweeted out a couple of times a tank for. I doubt that I did tank for 2. I was actually,
but I think multiple
times a Herbert person.
I think you're okay with losing, but it's like when you're trying to lose for
a situation, not for a person, bro.
Yeah,
like
I'm fine with that.
It's few and far like quarterbacks where you can look in college. I think it was Deshaun, it was Andrew Luck, it was Cam Newton. Probably the last 3 where you could look and say, like, them boys is finna be different. Like,
yeah, because even Mahomes, you didn't know.
Absolutely not, bro. Like, coming from Texas Tech, like,
you ain't know.
Nobody thought that Mahomes was gonna be that, though.
You feel me?
Nobody was sitting there like, oh, Mahomes is gonna come out here and be the first $500 million quarterback.
Yeah, man. It was just like, Watson, you had 2 Alabama like national championship games versus a whole lot of first round talent, and he stunted. Like, even Hunter Renfrow, I was like, yo, Hunter Renfrow is going to be a good pro. Like, and now he's fucking deadly out here. You know what I'm saying? A route running god. Like,
literally makes up routes.
You can see it sometimes. But for me, for Tua, like, it started after like a magical, like, like crumble by Georgia, and also like him doing some wild ass things. Like,
I'm not gonna live off of his record. I'm truly not. Like if we
yeah,
want to go that route, I'm telling you, this year I don't think it's gonna be as fun as people think. With it's gonna like my thing is like the excuses are gonna come to a point where they're just we're out of them. Like truly, like there's none left in the cookie jar. It's not sabotage. It's not
No,
weapons.
this
It's
is the
not
year.
like there
You
is
can't go into the season
none.
without.
And I think people, and I'm already seeing it, it's gonna be, you know, oh, he needs another year, and he
a
got
new system.
hurt, and he's getting accustomed to it. I'm already full on seeing it. The defense took a step back, they let him down. And
Wait, really quick as well. It's like we're not just because it's popped up right after I brought up the other comment. I don't think anybody in here is saying, "Oh, Tua is going to be this, Tua is going to be that." Like, yes, Kendall and Juan both have very sharp and very honest opinions about what they believe Tua will or will not be. I think the issue is that what we were served up is savior, and thus far what we've gotten is not savior. Not saying that Tua isn't gonna be what he was served up to be. It's just that look, we haven't seen it yet. And it's not saying, oh, he's never going to get to that point, but this is his last year. This is make or break. They're not going to
what
sit there
what does
and give him the
McDaniel have
same
to do
chance that
with
like the Giants are going to give Daniel Jones and shit like that. Like that's
but
not going to happen.
Let's just be clear, McDaniels is not married to Tua.
McDaniel.
McDaniel, sorry. He's not married to Tua. Like this is not like if he fails with Tua, like he's fired. Like no, this is like you got 17 starts, Papa, and after this, if you ain't
That's
figured it
it.
out, like we got 2 first-round picks and we got moves to make, bro. Like, and I think people are gonna be a little shy, and that's the thing. I think ultimately the Tua thing is gonna be um similar to the Drew Brees and similar to the Tannehill thing, where he's going to go to a different team in his 5th year and kind of start to get it all together.
Yeah, I think the Tannehill ship
And
has
then that's
sailed
when
though.
everybody's going to come out and from the woodsheds and talk their shit and whatever. I'll be here to receive it, right. But he ain't gonna be doing it for the Dolphins. So
Threat is honestly the biggest believer turn converter. Like, I mean, my man, go ahead, Threat. Like, you was the Tua stan. Like, you was
Uh,
fighting for it, bro.
I was
Even Mike?
I was a big Tua stan. I like Mike.
No,
Gasicki?
I'm saying like no, I'm saying like
No,
Mike,
Mike.
now we know
Michael.
Gasicki.
That like
Oh.
Michael was a huge Tua guy,
Oh.
and now
Yeah. No,
he's
I
even one that's
was
saying, "Look, well, fuck it."
like I said, I was a huge Tua guy. I've been watching him since junior year at Bama. Whatchamacallit. I purchased my first NFL jersey, two of them, throwback, regular.
You bought
Um,
two.
yeah,
Yo.
training camp, went to the games, everything. I was so locked in on Tua. I I had Tua galore. Everybody knows me. When they see me, they talk shit to me because I was a Tua stan. My friends in the group chats,
Sorry,
every group
bro.
chat that
I'm
I'm in,
so sorry.
they kill me for being a Tua guy.
They be on his ass too.
But but like I said, as the season progressed, I
Layman.
was waiting. I was waiting to see that moment where it's like, okay, I could build on my faith in him as a player, and it didn't happen frequent enough, and the opportunities were there. I made the excuses for him, just like how the Tuanons make excuses for him. I was saying the O line, I was saying the run game, I was saying this, that, and the third. Okay, then one game he has Duke Johnson run for 100, he still didn't play good. You know what I'm saying? He has the stuff, the defense put him in good position. We still settling for field goals. We're not driving down the field. He's making errant throws. He's throwing terrible passes on the rollouts. Like I couldn't make excuses anymore. Like, and I see other guys in bad situations too, and I'm like, okay, I mean, this guy's still making it happen, even though his O line is bad. You know what I'm saying? So I was following all this stuff. I was a Tua stan probably until the Falcons game. I was deep in. You could say I was Tua until the Falcons game, bro. And it's just after that, it's just no more
Two
excuses.
and on.
however you say that dumbass shit.
No,
But
I know. It's just
That's how
like,
you said it. I
damn.
mean, it's just
Oh.
like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was locked in, bro. I'm no longer on that wave. I'm not, and I'm just. It is what it is. He's gonna have another opportunity to prove himself, but I'm no longer on the bandwagon, and it's fine. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to show me.
So you're comfortable being off the bandwagon then?
Yeah, I'm
Comfortable
You can't
cutting your
lose here.
losses and just going.
Like
Yeah.
we're in a position. The thing
I
is,
said
being
I said that
definitive-
last show.
Bro, being definitive, like, and saying like he's a bust, it's like, bro, you can't. Personally, me, I can't lose. If he turned out to be the shit, then we rocking. Like,
We Gucci. We made the
You feel me?
We
playoffs.
got a quarterback
Bro,
and a coach at that
ain't
point.
nobody out there anywhere.
And if he
you
proves
follow
me
whatever,
right,
we move. You know what I'm saying?
we push
Like,
narratives, bro.
you're not gonna
No,
make
but-
me
Who's
feel
next?
bad. Like,
This is the thing though.
Shut
Like
up.
I think
no,
that
bro.
like so that's the shit. Like that's the
And-
shit, and I'll let
I'm
you
a-
guys
He
go
had
on it.
2
But
picks.
that's
I
the
was
shit
at
that
the
pisses you
game.
guys
I
off.
watched that shit live.
I'm gonna be nice because I talked to y'all about it. Like I'm on like my 3rd rewatch because I've done it on specific players. Man, like I put this out as a poll too because I wanted to know which one was Tua's best game this year, and it was between the Falcons game. I think I put at New York and then the Carolina game.
It was
And
Carolina.
it was mostly the Carolina game, but like that Atlanta game, like bro, he started off really bad, bro.
I
Like,
was at that
like,
game. Fans were leaving the game.
Like the defense intercepted the ball deep into the field.
I love
Very
that.
next play, what that boy do? Threw another
Threw a
pick,
pick.
threw them back right on the field, and it's like
that
you know,
happened back to back weeks too.
and listen, I
Jets game
saw a
pick
lot of
6,
people
although-
complaining about the defense giving up 3 points at the end of the game, but like there's no accountability for the interception in the red zone to end the half. There's no accountability for the interception right there, right after our interception. And it's like, well, if the defense gave up points, well, the offense also left points on the field. But, you know, that's neither here nor there, I guess.
I mean, Kai knows what my point was. Like the Tennessee game, bro. Like when we got off the pregame for that, I was like, I
But
think
we both said that he has to be the reason. Like I think I remember.
Yeah,
going to
I
that
just
saying he has to be the reason we win.
bro. And then like a lot of people like to say like, oh, the team didn't play well, and it was like, yeah, if you look at the end of the game, but bro, the defense gave up 14 points through 3 quarters. It was 17-3 in the beginning of the 4th.
What are we talking about? Tennessee game?
Yeah, the
TJ
Tennessee
Watt
game.
is officially defensive player of the year, by the way. Like not
Who?
like it. TJ Watt.
TJ?
TJ
Oh,
Watt.
okay.
Yeah, not,
Yeah,
not
I
like
like
it
that.
should have been a question, but
At all.
But yeah, bro, like I mean that Tennessee game to hold, like even though the defense was kind of getting gashed in the run, you know what I'm saying? They only gave up 14 points, bro. It was 17-3. And that
10
was
minutes left in the 4th.
Dan
And
Quinn
it
was,
was
named
like-
assistant coach of the year.
and it was like, bro, like that was my moment for me. Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
For me, that was my moment for him. And it was like, bro, like you could take us to the playoff. Like I even said it when he came back from injury. I'm like, with that schedule, he can rewrite the narrative and be like, you're the
And
guy.
he was
like,
for a little bit too.
for a
That's
little
the
bit,
thing,
yeah.
too. Like
And
he
he's
was really
slowly
rewriting
like just. And my thing with Minshew and why I'm putting my money on a guy like Minshew is like, how can Minshew come off the bench on the road 1 week of practice, look better than a team in your division than you looked against them the second time you played them, 2 times in like 3 weeks, and it was the Jets.
That just game was bad.
at that game. It was very
Yeah, bro, I was there. It was terrible.
We were both
Very
there.
annoying.
We watched that shit.
I think all of us. Well, except for Juan, but
Oh, I can't.
And it's like he got
I guess-
credited, like you know, with the quarterback stat 8 and 5. It's like even in that game, he got credited with a game-winning drive. But it was like, yeah,
because he threw the pick 6 for it. He pulled
You
out
feel
a
me?
Herbert,
and it's
He
like you
pulled
threw
Herbert.
you threw a little slant to Devontae Parker for the lead, but it was like, bro, like we was only in that position because you
he threw the interception.
you put yourself in the position to need that. Like
Yeah.
I love
that
this
pick
crew,
six,
bro.
that pick six.
Y'all boys
sucked
never
that.
change, bro. Y'all
No,
boys never change. I swear, I feel like I watch the games. I go on Twitter, and it's like we're watching 2 different.
it's
things.
180. It's a 180.
God.
But it's
2
because of,
different
like,
games.
so-
I swear, I don't.
As someone that's very like in the middle with everything and just wants to see the team be successful, I think it's the comments of like, oh, but we're judging 2 of this, we're doing this, we're doing that. And it's like, motherfuckers, we gave Ryan Tannehill 7 years, and all we told ourselves was, but if this, but if this, if this. For 1 year, he had Derrick Henry, and everyone was like, oh, but that what if this is there. This year, he doesn't have Derrick Henry, and you just keep seeing more excuses. Oh, but next year it'll be better. Oh, but this and this. They have one of the best run games in the NFL without Derrick Henry. They have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. There is no more what if this for Ryan Tannehill. He's just not a guy.
Good enough, yeah.
So I think the question is, and everyone's like, oh, the crap. All right, well, what the fuck do you think Joe Burrow dealt with last year? What do you think Joe Burrow's dealt with this year in the offensive line game? How much of a mental toll do you think it is to be sacked 9 times in the playoffs and get picked up every single time by your offensive line, still go out there and win the game?
Didn't he drop, I think, 350 in that game?
Yeah.
It's just the I get it. We want it to be something, and we have no idea. This could be like the 03 class or 03, 04, whichever one that was with Ben, Eli, and Phillip. It could be that. But then, like, shit, are we gonna have the Phillip? Like, is that the question that we're thinking of?
He's more on like the Eli vibe, like.
Well, then that means I'm getting.
And then that was Super Bowls, but bro, like.
But I mean, look at the teams that he had with the Super Bowls.
And my thing is, bro, like
those run.
And I'm on Team Tua. Like, I want him to be the guy. And it's just the question of, like, it's the constant excuses. It's the constant stuff getting thrown. Where I mean, look,
I was here when they told me Charlie Fry was going to be, a great hire for him. I was here when Will Fuller was going to be, the guy for Tua. I was here when,
both of you guys know that I said get Kendall
promoting two OCs for, continuity with Tua was a good thing. I don't know what excuse we're going to come up with next year, but I'm ready for them. Like, truly, I am. Like, I just know how this is going to...
I genuinely think that there aren't going to be excuses like there were last year. I genuinely think that what is happening right now is that what's going to end up going on and what's going to end up being the situation is that he will get a year. It'll be a whole, this is it. This is what's going to happen. This is your year. And if he can't go out there with the improvements that we all know they're going to make, then it's going to be like, look.
Okay, but let me ask everybody, though. Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say this. I literally text Kendall this, like,
someone just outbid me on shoes on StockX. Fuck that person.
I text Kendall this last week. I told him, my biggest fear is if Tua has an okay year, not a good year, not a bad year. Let's say he goes 25 TDs and 14 picks.
And how many games?
And the whole season. He plays the whole season.
No, hell fucking no.
But wait. Here, the asterisk is, you know how the funny shit works out where
we make the playoffs?
Bro, we make the playoffs.
No.
That's my biggest fear right there. That is my biggest fear, and I can see that shit happening. I swear to God.
That's crazy. I think we and Al talked about it last time on stream, and we said the same thing. He actually said that if we make the playoffs with Tua and lose in a wild card round, that we should move from Tua. And I said that there is no way in hell that they would ever do that.
I don't think they would.
They would sell themselves on that dream.
Draw, bro.
They would sell themselves on the dream of, like, once we get there, we have a shot, and we'll always have a shot with Tua, and it'll just be chasing that.
I mean, I would hope, like, I feel like maybe would they move if it looked like the way
no, it's a Jamal Musiala jersey, but there's a Moore jersey over there behind me. You can't see it.
The way the New England looked against, Buffalo, like what they moved in, because it's like, and that's another thing, beef with Tua. People fight, they defend them so much. And I see like Dolphins Twitter shitting on Mac Jones for being in the Pro Bowl. It's like, bro, like why y'all hating when them
because
two
Mac
boys...
Jones shouldn't be in the Pro Bowl. Let's not.
All right,
let's not get this shit twisted. All right.
All right, he shouldn't, but he's there, and then they're hating on the man. That is the same coin, just a different side. Oh, Father of the Year.
I mean, I think, like, I don't know. I just disagree. I'm
think
sorry, bro, but if you're telling me that Mac Jones is a Pro Bowler, then Tua's a fucking Pro Bowler.
He's not a Pro Bowler.
We agree. But if you're telling me he's going to go to the Pro Bowl, then Tua's a Pro Bowler.
They're legit,
especially if they're the same coin,
him, bro. Like, they're shitting on him just for, like, he's only there obviously because he made the playoffs, bro. But like the shitting on him, it's like.
Also, this is the other take.
I'm just gonna speak on this as a former guy who was just to a stand. They're shitting on him because it's jealousy, bro. That's all it is. I was jealous of Herbert. I was jealous of
Nah, I
Burrow.
don't think anyone's.
Jealous of it is. It is because he doesn't get the same slander. He doesn't. He's not.
Oh, okay.
Mac Jones isn't getting the same slander as Tua, and that makes people furious, bro. Because you know what I'm saying. It's jealous. It's all jealousy,
Okay,
bro.
I agree with that. Because I'm gonna say, like, I think yes, I think there is a point where we agree that he needs to be getting the same slander. Because especially if, as Kendall was saying, two coins of a different side of like the head, right? Like, dude is not a good quarterback. Dude should not have been in the Pro Bowl. I don't give a fuck that he went gritty halfway across the end zone. Like, I just think that this is ridiculous.
I mean, but you're drawing that conclusion, but you know what I'm saying? People,
I mean, it's just a true.
He looks
conclusion.
identical to
like,
Tua. It's crazy. He looks identical.
But then that's what I'm
to
saying.
Tua.
So that's why I was saying with Kendall. Like, if you're gonna sit there and say that they're identical, then at that same point, you got to say that Tua's a Pro Bowler then, because if they're identical, and Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl, whether we like it or not, that is in turn saying,
well, first
Tua
of all,
is a Pro Bowler.
I would say, like, damn, Dolphins fans, shame on you for watching the Pro Bowl when we ain't even got nobody pretty much up in that motherfucker.
We had Xavier. And X had to bring Javon in like his luggage and hide him.
He about to be on the way out.
X on the way out. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. In my opinion,
GA left. X is out of there.
I will say I don't think we're gonna have the number one paid cornerback room very long.
No.
I think that's gone. We're gonna see who gets the.
I mean,
Juan who was comparing Tua to Mac,
bro? But here, okay, all right. Again, just to be specific, there's a few things here.
What's the things
on the one?
Well,
you go to a Dolphins game, and I think all of us can attest to this because I don't think a lot of people who actually go to Dolphins games are on Dolphins Twitter. Like, there's a core of us, but they're not all the same. Me and Juan, I don't think you were at the Thursday night game. I don't know about you, Threat.
No,
but me and Juan were at that game against the Ravens. That was a Ravens home game until that motherfucker Tua Tagovailoa got into the game, and that entire stadium turned into a sea of Dolphins fans. That entire stadium wanted that man to succeed. Every game I went to this season, it did not matter what he did. This fan base wants Tua Tagovailoa to succeed.
Yeah,
so don't
say,
agree
with that. Like,
don't say that they don't support him. This fan base loves Tua.
Sure. No, there's factions of it.
Like,
I think the
not even
ones
factions.
are the ones that are
like the people of like you and Kendall. You guys are like literally like the 1%. I think,
bro,
in my opinion,
I don't want him to
Dolphins.
I wouldn't even say I'm not a supporter of him, bro. I just don't think he's good.
No, I think the last season left. I think it hurt that number. I don't think it's as drastic as you would say. I think it's closer to like the probably 70-30, 80-20%.
He should be a Tua stan.
No, he should not.
No.
He needs a reason.
But like,
to be a
it's literally, I don't think anyone's.
But look,
here like,
we
don't want Tua
Ben
to
dropped
be
the question.
successful. Like,
would Tyler Huntley beat out Tua? The fact that don't even answer. The fact that you guys had to think about it. Exactly. You don't do that with a top 5
I'm not thinking. Pick. I'm looking at a dog in a cone right now, and Buddy looks fucked up.
Well, bro, like,
where's his Zach Thomas news, bro? I'm trying to talk about something either really annoying or really good.
I mean, probably not. Probably, I don't know, man. He didn't. Who was his weapons? You know what I'm saying?
For who?
Mark
for
Andrews.
No, talking about
Mark Andrews. Bateman was, inexperienced.
Mark Andrews is one of, if not the best
Hollywood slowed down towards the end.
Now, Mark Andrews.
I'm not a fan of Hollywood at all.
I'm not a fan, but his numbers at the end of the season shocked me.
That guy.
Yeah, he got a lot early. That's why.
Yeah, he had.
What did he finish?
I think he had 70.
He was
79
over
1K
football team.
Interesting.
That's what he finished with. Just because, and I brought it up earlier, and we haven't really gone into it. These are the quarterbacks that I guess are potential backup quarterbacks, just because we never really got too far into the free agency type. Off the list of actual free agent quarterbacks, you have Ryan Fitzpatrick, Andy Dalton, Cam Newton, Tyrod Taylor, Jameis Winston, Jacoby Brissett, Teddy Bridgewater, Marcus Mariota, Joe Flacco, Mitchell Trubisky, Tim Boyle, Blaine Gabbert, Chad Henne, Brandon Allen, Mike Glennon, AJ McCarron, Geno Smith, Colt McCoy, Chase Daniel, and Brian Hoyer.
Did you say Josh Rosen?
I did not.
Oh no, he's restricted. He's restricted. Sorry.
He is a restricted free
I
agent.
doubt it.
You said Sean Mannion?
I don't know.
That seems like a good name that might not threaten Tua.
Sean Mannion.
Hey, what
is
about
an
Nick
unrestricted
Mullins?
free agent.
Is he
All right,
still in the
we're
league?
getting to the
Oh,
point.
former 49er, huh?
We're
Hey,
getting to the
Listen,
point
if you
where
want
I
a
think
solid
we're
backup that
crazy
has
about-
zero intention to play, Chase Daniels will collect the bag,
Ugh.
no
That
problem.
boy made about 30, 40 mil.
Ugh.
If there's anybody I want
He will.
and to grow up to be, is Chase Daniels. Like that.
Yeah, if my
listen,
son can be Chase Daniels, that boy is winning. Bro,
Set.
you keep your
Jamar
health
Chase
intact.
wins Rookie of the Year. Thank fucking God. If that went
Over
to Mac
Parsons?
Jones, there's offensive and defensive. Remember?
Oh, is there? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. I guess not because he actually is the AP. Oh yeah, no, offensive and defensive. I was right.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
offensive, yeah.
Yeah, he's offensive Rookie of the Year.
Good for him.
I still
Like,
think he would be.
I,
the
I,
offensive
I think
player of the
I think
year,
Jamar Chase is going to
regardless
be a
of-
good player in this league. What do you guys think?
I think he's a dominant receiver. Although I still think, maybe the Bengals should have still probably taken an offensive lineman. But
Hell to the fuck.
Hell
no.
no,
You
man.
you
Wow.
lost your mind, bro. Jamar Chase is Hall of Fame bound at this point. That boy is not looking at anything besides double digit.
You think he's gonna be better than Jettis?
Oh, he is
Yeah.
already better than Jettis, my boy. I've had this discussion up and down. I will.
He got to
listen,
show me again. He got to
I
show
don't
me
know
one more
about that
time.
one,
Who
bro.
had
Yeah.
who in the slot?
Who had who in what slot? Jay Jettis,
Chase?
you mean?
Chase had Jetta in the slot in college as a 19-year-old freshman.
That's college. We
He
talking
can't.
about
That's cool. That's cool. I understand that. But now I have 17 games, 80 catches, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns as a rookie. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Jettis, I would
Jettis-
put Jettis is
Jettis-
better than him, but right now by a little bit. But Sunday is right there.
Here's my thing. Off of technicalities, Jettis is a better receiver than.
off
Chase,
of
right?
technicalities.
But if I'm wanting a better player, I'm taking Chase, bro. Like it's not even
I don't
close
know,
to me,
man.
dog.
I
In
don't
terms
know.
of athlete, in terms of like, bro, that boy blocks guys 40 yards
Nah,
down the field,
Jetta's
dog.
It kind of
better than
reminds
Jamar
me
Chase.
of like
Chase,
a debate
Chase
that
is
we
a
had.
different
right?
animal,
Like,
bro. And it's nothing against Jetta. I love
when
Jetta.
you
Which
said
one?
who was better, Chad Johnson or Steve Smith,
Oh yeah,
and I
forgot
said Steve
we had
Smith.
that. Yeah.
Chad
And if
Johnson.
I think Steve Smith was the better player, like
I would
you might
also
say
that. I would
you
also
might say
that.
the better receiver was Chad Johnson, and like I get where Juan's coming from, but like the better player right now, like I think it's going to be Jamar Chase.
I think when we looked at the numbers between
You
Ocho
disrespected Chad
and Steve
Johnson,
Smith,
man.
I felt like I was shocked to see Steve Smith had
It's
the
up
better
there, bro.
career.
It's up
He
there.
had the better career.
That boy
I just
performed.
felt like
Playoff numbers.
and the playoff numbers were scary. I just feel like Ocho had the better prime, and that's what it was for me.
Okay,
Ocho
that's
Cinco
fair.
gets hated because Ocho Cinco decides.
I
to be
love
Ocho
Ocho.
Cinco,
I love
not
Ocho.
Chad
I
Johnson.
don't know what
I
that hate
love
word
Ocho
is.
too.
Yeah.
I love Ocho.
All right, well, it looks like this Zach Thomas news is just not gonna fucking come anytime soon. Apparently, the NFL doesn't want to leak anything this year, which is just like fantastic. to know.
We could probably leak a little alpha. Like I mean, I saw that Zach didn't go to LA, so
I'm gonna be real. This isn't a shot at the person who you're saying said that information to us, but I don't trust a word that network says. So,
let's not clip this.
we're not. I'm just being real. I'm a real person, man.
What
Shout out to
video,
Alfredo
Rubicon?
Artiaga because me and
Yeah.
him we have talks about being real to some people quite a lot of times. So it's just what I want to say. It is what it is.
I always appreciate
Damn
that.
it, his bag again. Mm-hmm. Play the video, Ramakan.
Shit, if Ramakan was here.
Stupid.
Nah, that was. I mean, so does anyone have any final words? Like that's just.
Nah, bro. Like fins up. I hope we win more than 6 games, but we're here.
Kendall Threat.
10-29 to Atlanta for Calvin Ridley.
Someone
yeah.
told me we could send a second. So shit.
Send
Don't
whatever
tempt
you
me,
29
got.
don't
is
tempt me with a
essentially a
good time.
second.
But
No,
but
but I could trade back 29 to like 36 and like 40 something.
but
And
you're gonna
like,
have to send 29 once Kansas City send 30.
Yeah.
why Kansas City sending 30?
They first round, bro. Kansas City.
Give me
don't get-
Juju Smith-Schuster, bro.
Give me Sony Michelle.
Give me Sony and give me Juju. Give me both them boys. We good.
All right. So anything else? Anyone got anything
Get
else?
Mike Gesicki out of here.